tonight for the second time. Good evening, everybody. I had started a live stream just about 5 minutes ago, but we were having a lot of technical problems, so I had to end that live stream. But if you're just tuning in, this video, as I just went over in the last video, but I had to delete it after everything I said. This video is going to be not that long. This live stream is not going to be that long. I'm just going to stick to what the title is on this particular live stream. And the title to this particular live stream is Just Wondering. I'm just wondering, right? And so hopefully we're not having any technical issues anymore. Can y'all hear me good? Hey, what's going on? Thanks for coming right back. Appreciate that, Kiki. But as I was saying in the last live stream, I am just wondering, when in the hell did it become not only okay, but socially acceptable for a male to hit a woman? And I was given the context of a video that I saw where a teacher, and again, I don't know if this video's real or not. Some people were saying it's AI. Some people were saying that it's actors and it's really bad acting. But it's a presumably a high school teacher, and there's this kid on the front row, and he's wearing this Make America Great Again hat, whatever, MAGA hat, and she's telling him, take that hat off in my classroom. He's like, no, I don't have to take it off, right? So, and I'm not going to get into who's right and who's wrong in that situation. This is just the context of where I'm going with this. She's telling him, take it off, whatever. And he's telling her no. So she ends up taking the hat off, throwing it on the floor. And he gets real upset, saying he's going to sue her. You assaulted me. He's walking out of the classroom, cursing her out, all that stuff, right? So let's move on. I go to the comment section just to see what people are saying about this. And there's a guy who jumps in the comment section and he says, boy, if that was me, I would have knocked that bee to the ground. I would not have hesitated. As soon as she touched me or any belongings to me, even if it was my backpack, I have every right to go over there and beat her ass. And then he's got like 172 likes and hearts on this comment. And I'm just thinking to myself, wow, look at you. You just couldn't wait to jump in here and get all fired up because there was a woman screaming and hollering at a guy, and she just happened to touch his property. So now you think you have the right to knock her out and just beat her to a pulp, as you say. So, some coward you are, sir. And all the ones that hit that like button, you're cowards, you're punks. Y'all ain't shit. All right? You're a joke. All of you, not even men, you're disgusting. You're sick excuses for the male race. You are the problem with this world. You just can't wait to put your hands on a woman. And so, not only, and there were so many comments saying the same thing. I didn't even go through them because that one pissed me off so bad today. I said, man, I've got to make a video about this. I said, this is disgusting, dude. Oh, let her touch me one time. Let her get in my face. I got the right to slap her and knock her out. You're a punk, dude. You're a coward. You're a loser. And like I said in a short that I made earlier, I remember a time when you would get your ass whooped for even thinking about touching a woman like that. And now what we see, I've seen a lot of videos circulating the internet, and the sad thing is it is mainly black women that this is happening to, where there will be a black woman that is fighting a man, and you see other males standing around with their phones filming it and laughing. That is the most ridiculous, sorry excuse I could ever see in my life. How are you gonna call yourself a man, but you are standing there with your little iPhone in your little hand and you are watching a woman get beat by a man, and you are laughing, and you are posting it to social media, and you are egging it on, you are a coward. Like I said before, if you have ever done that, you are not a man. You're not. If you've ever hit a woman, if you've ever laid your hands on a woman, you're a coward. You're a punk. You're a loser. And the thing is, like I said earlier, there's going to be men that jump in these comments and, oh, well, what if this, what if that? I don't care what if. Shut the hell up. There's no excuse to ever hit a woman. None. Well, how do you know what it's like? I'll tell you what it's like. How do I know, you dumbass? Because I was married for 7 years and I was in an abusive relationship where my ex-wife put her hands on me all the time. And guess what, dumbass? Not one time did I ever put my hands on her in return. Y'all want to act so big and bad and I'm a man, I'm masculine, blah, blah, blah. But as soon as a woman gets in your face, you snap. Let me tell you something. Having a short fuse like that and not being mentally strong is not a form of masculinity. It's a form of insecurity. Okay? That's not called being a man. Just because you got your feelings hurt, that your wife got in your face, or your wife touched your belongings, you think that's an excuse to put your hands on her? Dude, come on. Like I said, I've been slapped as hard as I could be slapped in the face. Punched, kicked, everything. Even punched in the ear. And if you've never been punched in the ear, that hurts like hell. But I still didn't put my hands on her. Why? Because I was raised better than that, and I remember not to put my hands on a woman no matter what. So don't sit here and tell me, oh, well, I can't control myself. If you can't control yourself, then you damn sure aren't a man. You need to go get help. You need to go get help. You know how many people I've checked in person? Women beaters? I've showed up at 2 of their houses personally. I put that on everything if you call me a liar. I promise you. I showed up to one dude's house 3 times. I walked in his house and he didn't have nothing to say to me. Same with the second one. Talking all this crap on the phone. He shows up, I'm gonna beat his ass too, blah, blah, blah. So I did show up and I was invited in by the woman he was beating. And I said, here I am, what are you gonna do? I said, do it to me, make me your bitch. Come call me a bitch. And he didn't do nothing. Because these men that do this are cowards. Like I said, they ain't shit. And the only time they do something, I'm dealing with one right now, a punk. And I'm trying to be polite with my words for you, y'all. So I'm just calling him a punk instead. There's another P word that he is, but I'm not going to use. But, he's trying to antagonize me right now and trying to get me to go over there and show up. And he's telling the girl that he's got a gun if I show up. And she's like, don't show up because that's what he's trying to do. And that's what these males do, They will throw their entire life away over an ego. So stupid. That's so stupid. And the worst thing you can do as a parent, if you have a son that has hit a woman, I don't care if it's his girlfriend, his friend, just somebody he didn't even know. I don't care what it is. If you have a son that has hit a woman and you go and bail him out of jail, you are just as big of a problem as he is. Because you are enabling the next generation of woman beaters. And I've seen that so many times. My ex Every time her boyfriend hit her, his mom went and ripped him out of the jail. He wasn't there maybe 3 hours at the most. And then he cried to his mom saying, oh, she made me do it. She this, she that. Boo-hoo, shut up. You're a coward. I'm telling you. Y'all are weak mentally. But you get, and like someone said, okay, it's easy for these guys to say that about a woman. If she put her hands on me, if she touched my hat or touched even my backpack, I would beat her ass. What about if a man did it? What if I touched your backpack? Are you still going to type that in the comment section? I don't see men saying that about other men. But when it comes to a woman, and specifically black women, I don't know why that is. These are the videos I see getting shared. Men just love to see a black woman get hit. I don't know why that is. They just love to share it. They love to put LOL in the comment section. They love to put the laughing emoji. She got what she deserved. She went down like this, blah, blah, blah. He was grabbing her weave. Dude, you think that's funny? You got a serious, serious mental issue. You've got a serious mental issue. And I don't make very angry videos, very often these days, but there is a time where a man has to stand up and be a damn man and tell these little boys how to be a man. Because some of you fathers watching aren't even raising your own kids, and you're not raising them right if you are. Because you should be telling your sons this. Don't put your damn hands on a woman, and if they do, you should be kicking their ass. That's your job. You shouldn't be bailing him out of jail. What's wrong with you? That's crazy to bail your son out of jail if he does that. That's insane. Tell you, I went to jail over something stupid, and I learned my lesson. It took me 24 hours to learn. I don't ever want to come here again. And I haven't done something that stupid since. I walk the line now because I knew I don't want to do this again. It don't take, as long as you let a kid sit, your son sit in there, he'll learn his lesson, hopefully. But if he knows he has mommy and daddy to bail him out, he'll never learn. He'll keep doing it over and over and over again. And the worst thing about my ex was she was pregnant at the time. And he threw her against the wall, slapped her, punched her, split her lip in half. She had to get stitches. Then he started kicking her in the stomach when she was pregnant and said a whole bunch of stuff that I'm not going to say on here. And his mom bailed him out. How stupid of a move that was, because he went back and did it again. And yes, it can be said that it's stupid to go back to him, but that wasn't always the case. Sometimes it was, if a woman has a child with this guy and she has to give the child to him or go pick the child up from him, sometimes that's where these guys get you. So it's not always the woman's fault. Because I know a lot of people say, well, she this and she that. Well, he, number one, shouldn't be putting his hands on her. That's the first thing. Yes, I agree. She should not be going back to this guy. But he shouldn't be putting his hands on her. That's the first problem. That does not excuse what he's doing. You, as a man, are supposed to be a protector of your wife, your girlfriend. I don't care who it is. Your friend that happens to be a girl. You're a man. You were put on this earth by God to be a protector. You have a choice in this life to be a protector or a predator to your wife. You have the choice to be a man or be a boy. And, this video, people were so mad that this student didn't hit the teacher. They're so mad that he didn't put his hands on her. Oh, well, he threw your MAGA hat on the ground. You should have did this and that. Dude, come on. It's a hat. And really, she told him, take the damn hat off in my classroom. I mean, hats aren't allowed in school. It's her class and her rules. You know, I mean, so, I mean, and he kind of was saying, I'm not taking my hat off. Make me, I'm not doing it. Okay, she made you. So now what? Go to the office. But, you know, I'm not here to debate who's right, who's wrong, whatever. I mean, there's enough division in this country as it is. And now you got all this other crap going on that I am not going to get into. Because that's not what this channel is about. This channel is about we as me and anyone else watching right now that is a man, it is our job, men, to protect women. So if you see a woman getting beat by a man, I hope to God you have the balls to step in and stop it. And God forbid you become a little boy and pull out your phone and start smiling. And the thing is, I've jumped into a fight before. There's two men fighting, okay? And I've talked about this on this channel before. There's two men fighting, and some of y'all are scared to break up a fight with two men. But these two dudes were drunk, and they were friends, and they were fighting over a girl. But this guy started fighting, you know, he started losing. And then the guy starts slamming he falls down on the ground, and the guy picks him, grabbing him by his hair, and just keeps hitting him. And I'm looking around at people, I'm like, all right, he's done, dude. What, is anybody gonna, like, I was 21 at the time. I'm sitting around all these other older men and stuff. So is anybody gonna stop it? Like, he's killing the dude. I said, all right, somebody needs to stop it. And this guy next to me goes, let him effing kill him. And he goes, it's funny. And he starts filming it. Everybody's filming it. And the dude, he's slamming his head into the concrete, and the guy's completely knocked out. Face is full of blood, and the guy won't stop hitting, slamming his head in the concrete. And I started yelling at everybody. I called everybody some names, and I just jumped in. I jumped on this dude, and I threw him off. Man, I was so mad. I threw him probably 10 feet. And he turns around like he's about to come running at me, and he saw how tall I was. I'm almost 6'4", 215 pounds. And he stopped. He was maybe 5'6", and he stopped. You know, he was trying to put his hands up, come at me, and then he's like, oh. And I said, you're done, dude. I said, he's done. Get off of him. I said, you're going to freaking kill him, you idiot. You know, but I was just like, man, there's too many cowards out here. Everybody wants to see somebody be unalived. Like, y'all are just craving that. You want to see it to get likes and post it on the internet. I want to see a woman get beat up. It's funny. What the hell is wrong with y'all? Expectations for men and none for women, you say. You know, that's what gets thrown around a lot. Yes, it is expected of men, to be strong, to be courageous, to be brave, to be have good ethics, have good morals, to lead and guide and protect women. You're absolutely right. That's the Bible for you. That's God said to do those things. God put Adam in charge of the garden. Somewhere along the way, we have become little bitches as men, and this and that. And then another thing, all you boys want to say, this is why I say I'm a traditionalist. I don't give a damn that times have changed. I don't care. Because when people say times have changed, that also falls back into, hey, well, women want equal rights, so you want to get in a fight with me, I'll beat you just as equally as a man, blah, blah, blah. And then we have men that say, well, what do you bring to the table for me? What do you mean, what does she bring to the table? You should be able to build the damn table and then pull out her chair for her like a real man does and says, sit down, honey. I have prepared this table for my wife or my fiance. I have built this for you. I am a man. I am a protector and a provider because God said so. I don't care that it's 2026. This is what God said, and God said, I am the Lord and I change not. God is the same yesterday, today, and forever, and what he expects of men is still the same today as it was 2,000 years ago. I don't give a damn who's president. I don't care who's trying to be president. I don't care what social media says. I don't care how the world is changing. I'm a Christian. I'm following God. I'm a man. I'm a protector. That's the way it is. And men, you need to hear that. There are too many pansies out here. Tawana's in the house. Tawana's in his house. That's how I would say it. But I mean, this is, this is a joke. It's like I said, I remember a generation of men that is so quickly dying out. But I remember a generation of men that if they saw you holding your phone and filming that, they'd kick your ass too. And every one of your phones would be broke on the ground. That's what I'd do. I'd break every one of your phones. If I saw you filming a woman get beat up, I would break your phone. Then I'd kick your ass. And I'd say, film that. That's what I would do. And that's what a lot of men would do. And the problem is that this is happening in a lot of bad areas where there's not a lot of good men, But don't pull that crap. Oh, well, she got in my face, so I had a right. You don't have a right to hit nobody. Just because they get in your face doesn't mean anything. That doesn't mean nothing. A woman got in your face. A woman screamed at you. Walk away. And you're telling me in all your, like I said, in all your masculinity, that even if a woman hits you, you can't restrain her? You're probably 6'1", 6'2", and you're telling me a 5'4", 5'5", average woman hits you, you can't restrain her and get her to calm down? And then if you have to, call the police? You're just automatic thing is, man, here we go. Here's my chance to beat the crap out of someone half my size. That's what you just jump to in your mind. And the people that do that, it's because you were waiting on the opportunity to hit a woman. You already made your mind up long ago that I don't respect women. Women don't mean anything to me. That's why you did it. That's why you reacted the way you did. Because like I said, I made my mind up that no matter what woman puts her hands on me, I'm not going to return that. There is a million different ways to handle that situation. And there is a million men that would tell you the same thing. It's just cowards who hate women, right? There's a lot of men out here that hate women. It is unbelievable how many people hate women. So, oh yeah, and there's one in here right now. But I wish there was more men on TV. I wish that, you know what? I'm in a few movies and stuff, but I've never got to be in a movie where there was a woman beater. And And you don't really see many movies that show men abusing women and then they get their ass kicked. You know, you'll see a lot of movies where men are abusing women, but that seems to be the sociably acceptable thing these days. But what about let's make movies that show what real men do to cowards like that, so that men can see what happens to them. Let's get this asshole out of here. Oh yeah, I removed that piece of crap. Actually, I didn't just remove him, I reported him. Hopefully he gets kicked off of YouTube, because cowards got no place on this channel. That's how it is though. You know. And I want to bring up something that happened, another coward that my wife told me today that it had happened yesterday. You know, my wife is a beautiful black woman, of course, as all of y'all are. And she's in a group, a black woman group, where you can, you know, show off your beauty and stuff like that, I guess, from what I understand. And they had made a post yesterday that was saying all the black women with blonde hair post a picture. So all these black women with blonde hair posting pictures. And my wife has blonde hair. And she had posted her picture, which is one of my favorite pictures. I've posted on my Facebook many times. And this white coward comments on her post and said something along the lines of, I bet you got a lot of blonde wigs that you wear on top of that bald head under that wig, or something like that. And she told him that he looked like a scrotum. And he does. He's got a bald head and wrinkled, and, you know, he's a coward. And he was going through and commenting on all these black women's pictures, saying this and that, and, you know, and the dude's an idiot. My wife doesn't wear wigs, you know. But it's just stupid that people assume that black women don't have hair or natural hair or whatever, you know. And it's just like, you know, why are you even in the group, dude? Like, I'm not even in that group, right? But this dude comes in there and just starts trolling all these women and being racist and being a loser and being pathetic, because he's not ever going to be a man that could even get a black woman, because he doesn't show black women the level of respect that they deserve. And there are a lot of black women who demand respect, and they're not going to put up with some crap like that. And rightfully so. And this channel, you know, I hope that it, you know, I hope I can help some women when it comes to interracial dating as well, because there are a lot of, and I've said this before, there are a lot of white men who only want to date a black woman for sexual reasons. There's a lot of white men who will literally take the time. They might be with you for, if it takes 3 months, they will do everything they can. I've seen it happen. I'm telling y'all this because I have seen it happen. And they get it the first time and they got what they want, and then they just drop you and you don't ever hear from them again. I know that because I know it's happened to a few people, few women personally in my life that I know. And that's not to discourage you from any interracial dating, because that can happen with anybody. But I'm just saying, there is a lot of white men that are not interested in building a relationship and marrying a black woman. So you really gotta, what do they call it, vet who you're dating. And sometimes it can be impossible. Sometimes you think you know somebody and you have no idea. People change all the time. I've had people change on me after knowing them for years. You know, and that's unfortunate. It is unfortunate, you know, but there's a lot of people out there that do that, so just be careful. And you know, because like, and I'm gonna say this for any men watching, any men, any of y'all, that if you are trying to date a black woman specifically for that reason, you've got absolutely no damn business trying to be with a black woman. Because I don't know if you've ever been told this, sir, but black women are so much more than their bodies. We have been conditioned by TV and stuff, all these movies, to think that, oh, all black women are strippers and they twerk and they're sex addicts and this is all they want. That is not true. That is not the case. Let me tell you something about black women. Black women are the treasure of the earth. They are some of the most kind, loving, good-hearted, beautiful women on the planet. Okay? They will love you like nobody else can. That's just how they are. If you treat them right, they will love you like no woman can. That is the absolute truth. And I'm sorry if that offends you, but if it offends you, then you have never experienced the love of a black woman. That is just, I'm telling you, man, like, I can't even stress that enough, man. I mean, it's just like every day when I lay down, my wife will be, you know, doing her nightly, I don't know what you call it, skincare, right? How many of you ladies do skincare that night? Let me know in the comments, right? Just say I do, I don't know. But she'll do her skincare, you know, and all these products, you know, you got to moisturize, stuff like that. Yeah, like a routine. And, you know, and she'll say, lay down. And I'll just lay down. And then next thing I know, my face is getting lathered up with, man, what's all the stuff? I don't know, for example, like, what do they call it? Retinoids. And then, I can't even think of the name, but like cocoa butter and oils and all these different things, you know. And she'll massage my beard and massage my scalp and, you know, run her hands from my you know, my beard down my neck to my chest, start rubbing my chest, and, you know, just all these things. And I don't even have to ask. It's just, you know, it's just, that's just what she does. And it's like, you know, I mean, that's just how black women are. You know, they're gonna take care of you. As long as you take care of them, they will do the same for you. They will reciprocate the love you give them, but it will be times 100. Literally. It will be times 100. And I just, in my personal opinion, you're not going to find that with anyone else. Exactly. Exactly. And, you know, like I made a post the other day. I said, my wife is going to keep me looking young forever. And I said, because, you know, all the oils and the skincare and everything, and just like, this is for your under your eyes. Put these patches on. I'm like, well, what is this? It's like, just put them on. I'm like, okay. And then it's this is for your lips. Put this on your lips. And it's just, you know, it's just so much. And it's like, okay, now wait 2 or 3 minutes, and then I got something else for you. And I'm like, all right, cool. But that's, you know, but the thing is, I mean, people just, they don't know how to treat women. They don't know how to treat women these days. And it's just crazy, the level of disrespect. And, you know, and there's so many times we get men that jump in here and try to disrespect women, and they're kicked out pretty quickly, because I got a few moderators, and they know when to kick someone out who is trolling. And you know, because we like to keep a good vibe on this channel. And if you're here to hate and you're here to disagree, because if you're disagreeing, you're probably an evil person, because I don't say anything that really should be disagreed with. I don't believe that protecting women should be disagreed with. You know, in that sense, if you're disagreeing with that, you probably shouldn't be on this channel, because that's what this channel is about. You know, so yeah. But I mean, I can tell you firsthand that you know, what's up, Kiki? Kiki's so clever. I don't know. I'm seeing comments come in from my my other video. I see it's upsetting a lot of men. A lot of men are have a lot to say. And if you have anything to say about the short that I posted, that tells me everything I need to know about you. Everything I need to know about you. That tells me exactly what kind of man you are, and that tells me that you don't deserve my friendship. I'm telling you, I've got comment after comment coming in. Y'all don't see it, but it's popping up on my top of the phone here. Since I had posted a video before I went live tonight, just basically saying, you know, when did it become socially acceptable for a man to put his hands on a woman? And I said, I remember a time when you get your ass whooped for doing that, and there are so many men getting mad. So many. It's like, come on. You know, are we really, I mean, they're just exposing themselves. So anyone you see in the comments of that video that are trying to justify a man hitting a woman, stay away from them. Because if you're trying to justify it in any way, you're an idiot. You're an idiot, you're a loser. And one day when a man sees you hit a woman, you're gonna come across a man that sees it happen, and then you're gonna end up on the ground or in the hospital. Really, it's probably gonna be this way. You're gonna end up in the hospital, and then you're gonna go to jail. So but I mean, it's just crazy that there's dudes trying to justify that. There is no justification. Well, what if this? Well, what if that? What if you did what you were supposed to do? What if you acted like a man? What if men got back to acting like men? Wouldn't that be great? What if women didn't have to be afraid of men? What if women didn't have to be afraid of dating sites? Remember when eHarmony first came out and that was like supposed to be a great thing? And maybe it was, I don't know. I don't know. I never got on it. I was young when it came out, but that's kind of like what started all these dating platforms. And then guess what? Guess what men turned all these dating platforms into? And somebody will get so mad that I said men, but it's true. Come on, guys. You know, it was us. We turned it into something that was not about dating. And don't act like we didn't do that. It was us. You get on any of these sites, POF, Scout, Skype, all these, come on. It's a bunch of dudes huffing and puffing, you know. And now men have made it to where women don't even get on these websites. So it's just a bunch of men hooking up with men now. And, but women don't even want to be on these websites because that's all it's become. There's nobody on there looking for a wife anymore. They're looking for something else. But just imagine if men started being men again and women didn't have to worry about jumping on a dating site. Wouldn't that be great? If a woman could find a good man. You must be a man. You must be a real upset man. Because you're, come on, dude. Seriously. You're so upset, aren't you? Everything I've said tonight, you have disagreed with me. Why would it be difficult for most men? What struggles do men face on a dating website, sir? Let me hear it. Please explain. Explain for all these women in here. Because you really sound like someone that hates women. I mean, the shoe's really fitting with you. And if that's the case, why are you in this chat? If you're not here willing to learn and change, what are you doing? Look at the data. Is it difficult for you though? Yeah, let's look at the data. Let's look at the statistics of how many women come up missing after meeting with a man from a dating website. Let's look that up. How many men come up missing after meeting up with a woman though? How many women are out here SAing men when they meet up with them? And kidnapping men when they meet up with them? Let's look at those statistics. Let's look at that. That's what matters. It's probably difficult for men because they send them a picture right off the bat and then the woman runs away from them. That's usually what happens on these dating websites. Women get an unsolicited picture they didn't ask for. That's usually what happens. Because men automatically assume this is what a woman wants. That's what happens. That's what happens. Exactly. And you know all the fake profiles of perverts and pedophiles that are preying on women right now and catfishing women right now? What about that? There's so much of that. But again, men like to turn it around on women. Well, men have it hard too. I see those videos. Men have it so hard. We have to go to work. We have to provide for our families. Oh no. Oh no. That's so bad that God made us men. And you know, there's a lot of there is a way. If you don't like being a man, there is something that can be done about that nowadays, because there's a lot of guys that don't like being men, and they have chose to, you know, emasculate themselves. They choose to castrate themselves, basically. But that doesn't mean that they're now a woman, though. That just means that they are what they already showed they were. They're a man without any balls. That's all they become. For you men that don't want to be men, that don't want to provide for women, that don't want to protect women, that say that's none of my business when a woman is being stabbed on a DART train. Y'all remember that video? All the men sitting around while that woman got killed on the DART train. They looked over, saw what was happening, and looked right back at their phone. Oh, that's none of my business. They should all be in prison. Men should be held to a higher standard. Watch the video. All the men sat there and did nothing, while another man murdered a woman in plain sight. Not a single person on that train stepped in. Cowards. Cowards. And as she sat alone, let's go further. As she sat alone in the seat, bleeding to death alone, not one man, or woman for that matter, not one person went over there to help her. They sat there and let her bleed to death alone. After seeing what happened, after the threat walked away, cowards. Not even man enough to render aid, to call an ambulance, to help at all. So stuck in their own little world saying, it's not my problem. But how would you feel if you were on the other end of that knife and nobody helped you? This video is to wake men up. We have a generation of cowards who are not willing to take a stand to protect women. That is insane that you would sit there, pull out your phone, and film a woman getting slapped around a McDonald's or slapped around a bus station, beat up, while someone is grabbing her hair and swinging her around and knock her out. And then you leave it up to her female friend to step in and try to fight this man too. And now you're watching two women fight one man and he's still winning and you're still laughing and still filming. I've seen that where two women, where a guy, I don't even know if it was a high school, I don't know where it was the other day, but there was this big old tall dude that was hitting this girl and nobody would help. She was asking someone to help her and all the boys sat there and they're filming and they're laughing and agging it on. Yeah. And so she's like, okay, I have no choice, so let me try to get him. And then she gets hit and knocked out. And then she gets back up, and then his friend comes over and hits her again and knocks her out again. So he knocks her out, then his friend comes over there and hits her as she gets back on her feet, and he knocks her out. Unbelievable. High school kids. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I mean, this is the type of men that we're raising. That's our next generation. That's crazy. That's crazy. Who's going to decapitate a woman? See, man, if there's one thing I can recommend to every single woman watching, please carry some type of protection. Preferably a gun. You know, I'm not going to sit here and beat around the bush. That's going to be your best friend. Carry it in your purse. Carry it in your bra. Carry it on your hip. Wherever you want to carry it. Check with your state laws and regulations. Here in Texas, I can open carry. Women can open carry just as men can open carry. Most people don't. I do, because my gun's too big to conceal. But most states are going to be, you have to have a concealed handgun. I would highly recommend you get one and learn how to use it, and go to the target range maybe once a month. Twice a month would be better. Practice, practice, practice. Know your state laws. Learn the law very well, when you can use it, when you can use deadly force and self-protection, because that will save your life. And there's too many women being unalived. Too many. And it can be prevented, you know, but if you're not comfortable with that, they have other things. They have pepper ball guns, they have stun guns, they have mace, they have bear spray that comes in a compact container that you can use now, and it is stronger than pepper spray. It will disable a man for 30 minutes. He will be incapacitated for 30 minutes. It is made to stop a bear, y'all. It will stop him, and he will not get away. He will forget how to run because the pain is so bad. He'll be blinded for 30 minutes and in extreme pain. Please, please, please protect yourselves. Carry something. I was on the phone with one of my ex-girlfriends when she was SA'd by a man at the train station. How that happened, and be careful with this. She was inside it was a bus stop. She was inside the bus stop. They have like this little waiting station at night, and there's nobody in there. There was one woman, my ex, and this guy. This woman walks into the bathroom, and she walks out of the bathroom, and I'm on the phone with my ex. And this man says to my ex, he says, "Oh, shoot." And he says, "That woman left her purse in the bathroom." He's like, "You might want to grab it for her and give it to her before she walks away." And she's like, "Oh, okay, yeah, I'll do that," because that's what women do, you know. You don't want a woman to leave her purse. So it's in the woman's bathroom. It's just a single bathroom. So she walks in there to get it. And next thing you know, she walks in and she doesn't see a purse. Before she can even turn around, this guy grabs her by the back of the neck, shuts the door and locks it behind him. And it is just them two. And this whole little bus stop. And it's like 12 o'clock at night. And it might have been like 11:45, but there's nobody there. And he starts shoving her head in the toilet, trying to drown her. And she had a dress on, and he's trying to pull her dress up from behind, right? And she's trying to swing behind her and hit him. So he starts hitting her. He's grabbing her with one hand. He's hitting her as hard as he can from behind. He's hitting her in the temple, trying to knock her out. and he's hitting her in the temple, the face. Well, the thing is, when she had left my house that night, she grabbed this big old Michael Myers knife. Let's just call it that, big old butcher knife. She had it up her sleeve, and she had taped it to her arm. So she grabs that off her sleeve and starts stabbing backwards at him. He grabs the knife, trying to take it from her, and then she rips it out of his hand, rips his hand wide open. That causes him to freak out because he's bleeding everywhere, and he runs out the door thinking he got away with it. Guess what? He got arrested. They could not find him based on DNA. They didn't have his DNA, I guess, in the files or whatever. But when it happened a second time and he did this to another woman, they found him. Because they got the DNA, I guess, from her. They got that piece of crap off the streets. I don't know how long he got sentenced, but hopefully he got life. Because that's too many women he did it to. One is too many, but doing it to at least two that we know of. So I'm just glad he got arrested, and thank God she had that on her. Because if she wouldn't have, there's no telling what he could have, you know, she may not be here today. And so you have to be very careful, you know, especially if you're going to be out late at night and alone. Please take something with you. Carry something with you. Take a friend with you. And a lot of times, like Coco said, if you're going to meet up with a stranger that you found online, take a friend with you just to meet him, just to see what he's all about, you know. And meet in a public place. Meet in a very public place, somewhere safe. You know, don't go meet up at a bus stop or train station or somewhere out in the middle of nowhere. You know, these are just things to protect yourself. Like I said, if you have a state that will let you own a firearm and carry one, and you can legally do so, do it, get the training, you know, go to the gun range, figure out how to work it and all that stuff, and carry that bad boy with you. It'll be your best friend. That's what my friend calls it. He calls it his best friend. He says, I got my best friend with me. I'm like, oh yeah, I got it. I got you. And sometimes I'm like, why do you have one? You probably don't need one, but you know, no, but it's a crazy world out there, ladies, and I just wanted to hop on here and just go over that tonight. Like I said, I'm just wondering when this became okay, you know, and I hope that's not the case. I hope that 90% of the world would agree with me and say, hey, that's not okay, you know, but unfortunately, that's just not what I'm seeing. It just seems like if the 90% agree that it wasn't okay, we wouldn't be seeing these videos. There wouldn't be a bunch of men standing around ignoring a woman getting beat. We'd see that male get his ass handed to him. That's what we need to see more of. Well, I'm gonna end it right there, y'all. I just wanted to hop on here and you know, go over that because it was just bothering me tonight after seeing that video and that comment, that and all the people agreeing with it, dude. That's just sick, man. It's just sick. You know, that's about as bad as these people protecting pedophiles right now. I mean, come on, dude. If you're one of these people standing up for one of these pedos, as they call them, I can't be friends with you. And you know exactly what I'm talking about. You know exactly what I'm talking about. I can't believe people are trying to protect them. And saying they still support it. That's crazy. Wow. That's crazy. Yeah. So ladies, be careful out there. And men, please, 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 please protect women If you see something, say something. Even if you're not comfortable, you know, stopping it, at least call the police. Do something. Like they say, if you see something, say something. If you're not a big, tough guy, whatever, you see somebody that's, you know, twice your size and he's roughing up a lady, go find a big man somewhere. You know, run in the store and say, hey, dude, there's a guy beating a woman. Grab him and say, hey, man, you need to do something, man. I'm not big enough, but maybe you can. And call the cops. Get the dude arrested. Get these guys thrown in jail. And ladies, if a man hits you, have his ass arrested. Please, I'm begging you. Get him off the streets. We got to get these cowards off the streets. Exactly. That is the very least you can do. That way, even if you get there and the woman is like, no, he didn't hit me, you're a witness. You say, no, yes, he did. You say, I'll stand up to this dude. She might be afraid that you'll do something to her if she tells on you, so I'm going to tell. You did it. I saw you do it. And here, I got a video. You know, that's the only time it's probably okay to film a video for evidence to show the police when they get there in 3 or 4 minutes. So when he denies it, and you say, oh, well, look at this, officer. He can't deny this. Here he is hitting her. Here he is again. You know, and then bam, straight to jail. Goodbye. But anyways, y'all, that's all I had to say tonight. I just had to get that off my chest and feel better now. Because, man, I was boiling. But anyways, y'all, I'm going to let y'all go. Love y'all. Y'all please be safe. Have a good night. Be careful out there. And like I said, you know, if you like this video, hit that like button. If you're new here, follow for more content like this. And if you're a man, please be a man. That's all I can say, man. Just be a man. Let's protect the women and children out here in this world, man. That's what God put us on this earth to do. But until next time, y'all, I'm Joe Jones. This is the Cup of Joe Show. And this has just been your Daily Dosage. Good night, everybody.